It's the Breakfast Club, 6 a.m. Down to 9 a.m. every weekday. In the studio with us, we are now joined by Tawanda Chikosi, who's the founder and CEO of Road Rules app, a multi-award winning technology entrepreneur who recently got nominated for the World Summit Awards in mobile content and creativity with a social impact for the Road Rules app mobile application. Wow. That really is a mouthful. Thanks for joining us, Tawanda.
It's a pleasure to be here, E.T.
So just tell us a bit about what you're about and what Road Rules is about.
All right, so Road Rules application is a mobile application that we developed and created to assist young people in Zimbabwe who want to acquire a provisional driver's license. So people can now use this mobile application on their mobile phones instead of buying the yellow booklets that are sold on street corners that are not accurate and well designed. So this application is there to assist young people in making sure that they pass the exam the first time.
How convenient is it compared to the traditional way of doing things?
All right. So a couple of things, A book, particularly the ones that are sold in the street corners, are being sold on the black market. The Traffic Safety Council, which has got the mandate to regulate driver education in this country, is not involved in the production as well as the distribution of those books. Therefore, there are no standards. So these guys on the street corners are just trying to make a quick buck. They compress the book. They don't design it very well because there's no regulator. So it's not easy and convenient to study and to use with. It strains the eye. Number one. Number two, because it's a book, it's something that you have to move around with, which is not convenient. Now, with a mobile application, it's on your phone, right? Wherever you are on the mobile, on the go, it's well designed, easy to use, interactive, intelligent, to give you feedback, which the book doesn't. And most importantly, from the feedback that we've had from users is, sometimes we take our driver's licenses late in life. I don't want to be seen in a combi trying to open a book and everybody sees that at 26, 28, I don't have a driver's license. But when you use this mobile application...
I know guys that are 40.
You get it now. So when you use this mobile application, it's on your phone, it's convenient. No one sees what you're doing, but at the same time, you're making very good use of your time and your device.
So how did you get to this app? Just take us through the process, and you say you went through the rigorous screening and the relevant authorities as well?
Yeah. So I think the whole idea of a business is it solves a problem for people. So in 2014, the VID gave out a statistic as to how many people had set for their provisional driver's license test countrywide. And the number was north of 243,000. But what was very interesting in that as the statistic for us was that 60% of the people, that's over 144,000, failed it the first time. So that's a huge problem for young people, particularly if they're paying 20 United States dollars to take the sitting. And when we started talking to young people, we realized that some sit even 3 or 4 times before they actually get it right. So this is where we said, okay, there is a problem here and we can create something that can actually assist people, saving them money and making sure that they pass the exam the first time. So that is why we then started creating the mobile application to say, okay, the problem is not with corruption, particularly with this particular test. 25 questions, 8 minutes, fair exam. Which car goes first? Which one has got the right of way? Do you know what you need to do? Then you fail. People fail because of ill preparation. And it all comes back to the material they're using to prepare for the exam. So that is where we said, okay, let's innovate. Let's be innovative and creative around that space and create a mobile application that will be able to impact and assist people in that. And after we did that, we then went to the Ministry of ICT and said, okay, this is the solution that we have created for the problem that we see prevailing in the country. And we got an endorsement. We also then went to the Zimbabwe Youth Council because they are also the ones that have got interest in, the empowerment of the youth and the status of the youths in the country. And they also then worked with us and endorsed us for the application. Not only that, but the Office of the President and Cabinet, the one that is responsible for public sector modernization, looked at this and said, this is a good idea. We're trying to push e-governance in this country. Let's also then endorse and adopt this. Then finally, we're working with the Traffic Safety Council now in terms of, the modalities of how we will work together in as far as pushing this application in this country and also within the region.
Yeah, it does sound like like a fantastic idea. I don't remember how it went for me, but it definitely wasn't love at first sight.
No, tell people the truth, man. Tell people the truth. You didn't pass it the first time.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't. I did get to 3 or 4, though. I think at the second attempt. Maybe if the app was there back in the day, it could have been useful. So how has it been received? Are we seeing it in phones now?
Yeah. It's definitely been used by over 25,000 people now. So we're growing, we're building it, getting feedback from people, improving it, and I think 25,000 people are using the application, and we've lost count now of the number of people who tell us that I used the application, passed it the first time. We actually have people on record who have scored 100% after having used the application. So this is validation enough that people are receiving it very well.
So it's as simple as going on to a Google App Play Store and just downloading it?
Just as simple as that, man. You just log on to Google Play Store, type in Road Rules app. The application will come up. You download it for free on your mobile application and you take it for a spin.
Wow. Actually sounds great. Now tell us a bit about yourself as an entrepreneur. You're a multi-award winning entrepreneur.
All right. So personally, I see myself as a visionary technology entrepreneur. I like solving problems that I see in society or that I see in a country or in a region, but using technology. I think technology is a tool that we can use to leapfrog a lot of the problems that we see in the society. And I'm someone who is a pioneer. I don't want to see a problem and wait for someone to come or for someone to come up with a solution. I believe that if I see a problem that is big enough to be solved, let me be the one to take an initiative, and try and come up with a solution around it. If I cannot do it alone, then let's find people that we can collaborate with and try and solve a problem for this. So this is basically the kind of person that I basically think I am.
Are we going to see more applications like this? Is that your area?
Definitely. I think our area for the next 3 to 5 years is road safety. I think in Zimbabwe, and not only in Zimbabwe but across Africa, but particularly, charity begins at home. Road accidents in Zimbabwe at some point, if not still the same case, second largest killer after HIV and AIDS. So we feel that we can do something about that from a technology standpoint if we continue innovating around the space, trying to make life easier and save lives and property and money, for a lot of Zimbabweans by making innovations in space where it sells road carnet.
And we also had a lot of conversation where there are new signs on the roads and a lot of things like that. How has that worked for you and incorporating it on your app? Is that a challenge?
It's not necessarily a challenge, seeing that we are working with the right people in terms of the government departments that are relevant, in terms of this. But what people should know is there is a statutory instrument that was gazetted in April, which is bringing in 800 more new road signs. You see, Zimbabwe is adopting the SADC protocol on road signs and road rules, and where we are now having all the road signs being made similar to all the other SADC countries. That's a lot of learning for people. That's a lot of information that people need to take in and to learn. The driving curriculum is definitely going to change. So I think for the application, this is something that would definitely be useful to a lot of people, both who are trying to acquire driver's licenses and those that already have, because these new signs are coming in and people have got no idea what they mean.
Okay. That sounds very, very interesting. Is there going to be an app for the road test?
In actual fact, what we are trying to do is there's a lot of public outcry in terms of corruption within the practical driving test process. So we're bringing in technologies that will ensure that it becomes a little bit easier for people, to have transparency around that process, where it's no longer as subjective as people allegedly claim that because of the subjective nature of the test, some people are being purposefully failed so that they can actually then pay a bribe to get one. So technologies are coming in not necessarily to alert you that you're about to hit the drum, but to ensure that the process is fair and transparent.
So in the studio with us, Tawanda Chikosi, founder and CEO of Road Rules app. You do need to get your hands on that Road Rules app if you're one who is going to go for a provisional test anytime.